This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hey there, Heather, ho there. It's Jeff Cutastrophe welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe birthday boy. And the birthday boy for today, September the 30th, is the current F1 racing champion. He was the 2021 world champion, and as of this taping, is on track to go back to back. He is the youngest driver in Formula One history. He was only 17 years, 166 days when he raced at the 2015 Australian Grand Prix. He is the world champion, the 34th different driver to get the world championship, and he will try to go for number 2. He is at Red Bull till 2028 after signing a contract extension. And as of 2022 in Italy, he's won 31 races. Pretty good. He is Max Verstappen, who's 26 years old. 25 years old today, sorry. So he was born September 30th in Belgium to Jos Verstappen. Jos actually raced in Formula One. And the funny thing is he has a Dutch father who's a former Formula One driver, and his mother is Belgian who competed in karting. The go-karts, cool. So he's done a lot of things. Did well in junior and participated in Formula 3, which was pretty impressive and all that. He actually won 10 times at Formula 3 in 2014, which was amazing. He was third in overall rankings, and he was only 16. So Verstappen replaced Jean-Eric Vergne for Toro Rosso. At age 17 years, 3 days, he was the youngest person in history to participate in a race weekend. But he didn't race. He raced at Toro Rosso alongside Carlos Sainz, but at 17 years, 166 days, he became the youngest full-time driver in Formula One history. He actually was in the points, but then he had an engine failure. However, he ended up in 7th place at the next race in Malaysia, making him 17 years, 180 days old when he got his first points in Formula One, making him the youngest driver to score World Championship points, which is an amazing record. In fact, the previous record was held in 2014 by Daniel Kivat. In fact, Verstappen, 17 years, 180 days old. Second place is Lance Stroll of Canada, who took 9th at the 2017 Canadian Grand Prix, and Lando Norris is third at 19 years, 138 days. Well, Stroll, 18 years, 225. Lando Norris when he took 6th in Bahrain. That's amazing. By contrast, the oldest driver to score points was, in the 1950s. I don't know who's the oldest driver. Like, a lot of these guys are 47 years old, the top 10, but they were in the 1950s. Anyway, Verstappen was made to be a dangerous driver and all that. He was named Rookie of the Year in 2015. He took 4th at both Hungary and U.S. Verstappen began at Toro Rosso alongside Sainz. And he didn't do so well. But rumors were circulating. And following the Russian Grand Prix May 2016, Danny Kivat would go back to Toro Rosso, and Red Bull would bring up Verstappen, which was amazing. Red Bull looked pretty good. Verstappen actually shocked everyone by winning the Spanish Grand Prix. And he did it. He became the youngest driver to win a Grand Prix at 18 years, 228 days. The previous record holder was Sebastian Vettel, who's due to retire this year. So in his first 8 races with Red Bull, he actually took top 5 6 times, making him put in 4 times. So it's amazing and all that. So anyway, Verstappen was criticized for his driving and his aggressiveness, and was told by the stewards not to do that again, or else he was in deep trouble. So anyway, he did quite well. All that. Unfortunately, in 2017, his third season, he suffered 7 retirements, aka he didn't finish the first 50% of the races in the month in the year 7 out of 14. He did take third in China, but he won. But after the Malaysian Grand Prix, he looked pretty good and all that. He did okay. In 2018, he did quite well. Excuse me. Verstappen ended up 4th in the championship in 2018, winning 2 times. Not bad. 2019, with Red Bull, he took 3rd place in the championship. So Verstappen was getting better and better and better. And in 2020, he signed a contract extension. Of course, this was the year of COVID, so he didn't do so well. Again, he took 3rd place in the year. Then 2021 happened when he became the world champion. So he looked pretty strong and all that. Verstappen would take giant leaps and bounds and all that. By the time the Turkish Grand Prix happened, he ended up taking the Drivers' Championship lead. At the US Grand Prix, he took pole position in qualifying and won the race, so he extended his driver's lead to 12 points. In Mexico City, he took 3rd in qualifying and won the race, beating Bottas and Hamilton, and extended his championship to 19 points. However, a few races later, Verstappen and Hamilton inexplicably are tied for 1st place. So they're on equal points. Whoever was better than the other won. Now, the question on everyone's lips probably would have been, who would have won if they both didn't get in the points? I think Verstappen, by total race wins, had it. But anyway, at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, with Verstappen leading on countback, Verstappen overtook Hamilton on the final lap to win the race and the Drivers' Championship. He qualified on pole position and actually dropped to 2nd at the start. With 10 seconds, but Verstappen was down by 10 seconds until a safety car was called because of a crash involving Canadian Nicolas Latifi. The withdrawal of the safety car and the resumption of the race following the safety car period was met with controversy. The race director allowed only a certain number of lap cars through, which after the race brought from Mercedes a protest and intention to appeal against the race results, saying that all the lap cars should be allowed through. And the protest was rejected. It basically said that the FIA said that the race director misinterpreted the rule and the wording of the rule. Well, the wording of the rule was amended for the 2022 season, specifying that all cars will unlock themselves rather than any. So yeah, that was controversial to say the least. Verstappen then signed a contract extension with Red Bull, and he looks pretty good to win the World Championship. As of this taping of the episode, Verstappen leads Charles Leclerc by over 100 points. Yeah, the point system is kind of awkward because you get 25 to win, 18 for 2nd, 15 for 3rd, whereas it usually is like 10, 9, 8, blah, blah, blah in the olden days. Charles Leclerc of Monaco is 2nd and Sergio Perez is 3rd with only 6 races left and the Singapore Grand Prix coming up, which is one of the hardest. So anyway, Verstappen looks pretty good and all that. He's got his talent and fan support and all that, especially with the Dutch fans that travel everywhere and they're super orange, all that. So in his racing career, 2015 at Formula One, he took 12. 2016, he was 5th. 2017, 6th. 2018, 4th. Then 3rd, 1st, and 1st right now. So it looks like he'll go back to back, which was pretty impressive. He has many F1 records. He's the youngest driver to start a race at 17 years, 166 days old. The youngest driver to score at least a point, 17 years, 180 days. Youngest driver to win a race at 18 years, 228 days. Youngest driver to score a podium finish and youngest driver to lead a lap that same race, the 2016 French Grand Prix. Yeah, the start the race was 2015 Australia, 2015 Malaysia was to start to score points. Youngest driver to set fastest lap, 19 years, 44 days old when he did it at the 2016 Brazilian Grand Prix. The youngest driver to score a Grand Slam. I don't know what that is. I apologize. But anyway, he was 23 years old when he did it. And most podium finishes, 18. I'm surprised he has that record. I thought Schumi would have it, but no, does not. So yeah, he did fantastic and all of that. A Dutch treat, to be sure. Oh, the Grand Slam is to win the pole, win the race, fastest lap, and lead every lap. Ooh, I did not know that. That's amazing. That's a weird stat, but hey, I'll take it. So, will if Verstappen wins, he will become the 13th driver to win back-to-back championships. No, that'll be the 13th time, because Schumacher and Hamilton did it multiple times. So the other drivers, Michael Schumacher won, Manuel Fenico, Sebastian Vettel, winning at least back-to-back titles, Lewis Hamilton, Alberto Ascari, Jack Brabham, Alain Prost, Mika Hakkinen, Ayrton Senna, and Fernando Alonso. So yeah, that's a pretty good record and pretty good company, don't you think? Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. I do.